Hey everyone, I'm Norn Queen Alexis and welcome back to the channel and welcome. Oh, there he goes. So, today we are going to be talking about competitive Space Wolves. So I've been playing competitive Space Wolves for a little bit now, about a year and a half, I want to say. No, probably a year. And with the recent changes in October, this month, Wolves got neutered. Oh no, there he is. There he is. The Menace. And plop. Now you're going to behave? Yeah. So this is my take on a brand new competitive list that I want to try here going forward in this season of Warhammer 40k. I have a lot of experience playing this list, and there is some big changes to tournament terrain setup that really hindered my wolves quite a bit. Especially the building placement and how my wolves had to run around it and their footprint being too big. So it made getting around terrain very difficult for my army. But we're going to dive into this list and I'm going to explain all of my choices and the reasons that I chose them. And the reasons are good ones. They are good reasons. They are the greatest reasons, some of the biggest reasons. Kovu, what are you doing? So, right off the bat, leading my army, well, let me just get my list up so I don't forget it. See, there it is. So, right off the bat, leading the army, we have Logan Grimnar on his sled. Now, obviously, this is not Logan on his sled. Logan is riding a dinosaur. If you haven't noticed, there's a bit of a dinosaur theme with my Space Wolves. You are so well behaved. I love you. You are just, no, you're not supposed to hit models. I complimented him, so now he's got to be an asshole. Stop it. I see what you're doing there. You need to stop. You're being a menace. You are being a menace. You're too cute, though. Okay. So, Logan on sled, extremely good, gives the army a wah. It's called something different, but it's definitely 100% a wah. And you are just touching models. You need to stop. I told you, you're not supposed to touch models. He allows the army on any turn to reroll the charge roll and reroll the hit roll in combat. This is a once per game ability and it affects all Astartes units. Weirdly enough, it even affects teammates if you have one. So that's kind of weird because it just says Adeptus Astartes models. It doesn't even say ones you control, which is weird. But anyway, Logan is in a unit. He has a Wolfguard battle leader, and this Wolfguard battle leader has the enhancement, the Potence of Wisdom. This gives him the, I'm just going to make sure I get this correct. So, Adeptus Astartes model from your army. While the bearer is leading a unit, you can reroll the advance roll made for that unit. So this just allows this unit to get further up the table because I do need them to get more than 3 inches because they need to be able to get around buildings completely. So I need Logan, especially since he's on an oval base, he loses 2 inches. So having this in there kind of mitigates him having an oval base, which allows him to get closer. And this giant base is both a positive and a negative. The positive is that more of these guys can touch his base and thus attack. And you can get all 6 of these guys to touch his base and have him just touch one model in the enemy unit and have them all attack. It's really wild. I love doing it to my opponents. It's really fun. And that is how the rules are meant to be. So every single one of them has a heirloom weapon, a frost weapon, and a storm shield because that's the only way to run them. I don't run them with bolt pistols. There's no point to bringing bolt pistols. They do have the grenade keyword, so keep that in mind if you need to clear out a pesky unit. You can have Logan just lop a grenade at somebody, blow them up, get them out of his way so he can charge. This squad is extremely good. I'm down to just 2 of these now. I used to have 3, but I dropped 1 squad. And mostly the reason isn't the points increase. The points increase wasn't too bad. I made a big joke about it online, but it actually wasn't all terrible. And it wasn't all too bad. It was mostly just the space that I had on the table limiting where my Space Wolves can potentially show up. So that was more hindrance than the points increase. So I really don't think the points increase mattered all too much. I think they could have kept it the same and just kept using the tournament style terrain that they're using now. And that would have hindered the wolves enough for them to not bring 3 squads. Next off, we have a Wolflord battle leader. He has the Hunter's Instinct, I want to say. Let me just double check and make sure I get all of this correct because I don't want to misinform you. Yes, he has Hunter's Instinct. This allows him to come in from reserve on turn 1. And because he's a Wolflord, he reduces stratagems by 1 CP. So he can rapid ingress if you... No, it's if your opponent goes first, I think you could rapid ingress. And if you go first, you can't. I'm not 100% on that, but I usually just rapid ingress him off the field turn 1 or just bring him on turn 1 into a spot on the sides of the table where they can maximize their abilities. He's with another unit of 6 Thunderwolves, all with Storm Shields, and a Wolflord, a Wolf Guard battle leader on Thunderwolf. Now, you're going to notice a lot of lieutenants in this army. These are technically lieutenants. They'll give this entire blob, which has 54 attacks or something like that, attacks, gives them all lethal hits. And with a weapon that's only strength 5 and AP -1, you really need it. You really need these guys in there. I've seen a lot of lists where they don't do this and they just use the Thunderwolves to escort the characters in and let the characters do the work. That also works, but I found that this combo really works because you can have 2 leaders in the unit, and then, yeah, it just makes them kind of crazy, especially with a Wolflord battle leader. Wolflord on Thunderwolf. God, I'm going to get these names wrong. But with him having 1 billion attacks, also these 2 are bringing Thunderhammers. He's bringing a Thunderhammer. So there's just some lethal hitting Thunderhammers that also have devastating wounds. So if I don't hit with the lethals, which I tend to just reroll anyway because with the moment target, I'm going to then just try to get the devastating wounds with them. And also with the with the Thunderwolves, it adds +1 damage to their Thunderhammer, making it a 3 damage Thunderhammer with lethal and devastating hits. It's kind of crazy. So if you don't just automatically wound the thing, you're rolling to wound it and getting devastating wounds. So I like this combo. I think it's really good. And I lowered it down to 2 just for mobility of the other units. Now, I do think that Thunderwolves are the way to go with the weight of attacks because we're going to see a lot of increases in swarms. Especially being that Horde armies went down in points, except for Drukhari. Drukhari went up in points. I don't think they got nerfed enough, but that's just me. I saw my buddy Skari doing pretty well with them, and Drukhari tend to really outplay this army. I have a lot of trouble with them and Custodians, which is weird. But we are moving into a more Horde meta. That's what we're moving into, right, Kovu? Yep, he says right. A more Horde meta, so I'm expecting more infantry to be there blobbing up ways for my guys to not get through. And so, well, there he goes. He just fell off the table. Are you okay, buddy? He's okay. He just rolled off the table. So moving away from the main focus of this army, this is a lot of points, but it usually makes back its points really, really efficiently. A lot of people underestimate AP -1 weapons, and they think I could just Armor of Contempt it, and it loses all effectiveness. It really doesn't. The sheer amount of attacks are what gets through and destroys things. So it's that you have to look out for. But moving on to the rest of the list, we have 2 Blade Guard units. Now, controversial opinion, I think Blade Guard are one of the best unit in the Space Marine Codex simply for their sheer amount of attacks. The fact that they work really, really, really well with Oath of Moment. And with Stormlance, I am using Stormlance. The Stormlance is just really good. It lets me come in turn 1. It works with all of my enhancements. I know a lot of people have switched to using the Space Wolf exclusive one, which I think is fine. The Space Wolf one is also really good. but Stormlance lets me keep one of my units in reserve, keep this on the field, get it up the field, and charge turn 1, and bring this unit in turn 1 and charge with it as well. So it's just really good. But Blade Guard veterans, I think, are insanely good, especially with how terrain is done right now, with building on top of building on top of building on top of building in the one corner. Blade Guard take complete advantage of that, being able to stay just shy of the where the building's wall actually is, so they can't be assaulted. And then they get to advance and charge, which is insane for them. If they hit the oath target, they can reroll their saving throws. If they don't hit the oath target, they reroll their attack rolls. So this unit is a unit of 6 Blade Guard veterans, led by a lieutenant. We'll get back to this one because there is a chance that I switch him out. This unit right here is 6 Blade Guard veterans, led by a lieutenant and Ragnar Blackmane. This is essentially the delivery system for Ragnar Blackmane because he will touch and kill almost anything in the game. He is insanely good. I absolutely love Ragnar Blackmane. I am hoping that that is Ragnar Blackmane. If it isn't, I am sad and I've said the names wrong and I got the name correctly. Go me, I remembered shit. I'm infamous for saying the wrong names of the Space Wolf characters like you heard over here. But this lieutenant has Feinting Withdrawal, so this unit can fall back and then charge again. It just makes it so that Ragnar keeps getting his 10 attacks, which is insane. This unit, there is a lieutenant in here, and this is all just for the lethal hits, because with their reroll to hit built into them, getting those 6s is a lot easier. If they hit the oath target, I tend to just reroll the hit anyway, just fetching those 6s just so that their damage just gets to where I need it to be, and they're really good at just dealing sheer amounts of damage. Everyone underestimates them. I have always done exceedingly well with Blade Guard. I love them. This unit's lieutenant, I was debating switching out for Adjudicator to give them fights first, but everyone knows how to get around fights first now, so it's... Yeah, and the way you get around fights first is pretty simple. You charge into this unit here, and then say you don't make the ability to touch this model. What you can then do is pile into the unit that has fights first, and then you actually fight them before they get to fight, because fights first is checked when models are, before models pile in. And yes, that is how that works, and it's really, really, really dumb. So I'm debating Judicators over lieutenants, mostly because a lot of the people in my locals know how to deal with them. I just lost it. Oh, there's the raptor. Derp. So those are the 2 Blade Guard veteran units. I really like them. They help me deal with every horde in the game. They're also just really, really killy. I think they have, 2 damage weapons? So their weapons are just really efficient. Yeah, AP -2, 2 damage at a strength of 5, hitting on 3s. 4 attacks apiece is insane. They're just going to mulch through like marine equivalents. They destroy just about everything I need them to, and they're really good at bogging things down for multiple turns. Like if I need a Satan bogged down for a couple of turns, I'll hit him with Blade Guard veterans. Moving on from there, we have the Scout Squads. The Scout Squads have Missile Launcher, Sniper Rifle. I put the 2 missiles in one squad. There we go. Missile launchers, sniper rifle, 3 shotguns, close combat weapon, power weapon, on the sergeant. These squads are just here for uppy downy. They're going to start on the board on an objective in the back. Then I'm going to pick them up and put them on objectives further out into the battlefield and just have them run around and score points. These things are super important in this army because they're going to be the things that score me all of my primary objectives. Now, for the controversial picks, actually these aren't controversial, the Predator Destructor with a Predator autocannon and las cannons, Hunter Killer Missile, and Stormbolter. It's 130 points. This thing is smaller than the Lancer and usually makes back its points pretty easily. I mostly use its main cannon and its Stormbolter to clear chaff so that my units can get into what they need to. It just allows my guys to get where they need to, and the last cannons just deal with some medium tanks, maybe a transport here and there. I think the Predator is fine. The Predator will be swapped out. If I swap out this Judicator and drop one enhancement, I can bring a Lancer, or the Gladiator Lancer, and it's okay. I have not had luck with the Lancer, but I know everyone brags that it's good. I prefer my Predator. It's served me well over the years. And then the big change to this list is 3 Invader ATVs with multi-meltas. These things went ridiculously cheap for some reason. I don't know what GW was thinking. They went really, really, really low in points, and the second I knew that I was going to be using them in a competitive environment, I ripped their bases off because I had mine on bases, but their footprint is extremely important because these guys can squeeze around buildings, and having no base means that they can just rotate infinitely. So they're just good now. Like, these guys are insane. They're going to be scoring me objectives, getting into backfields, popping light tanks or heavy infantry, just maybe killing one. I don't expect them to do too much. I expect maybe their bolt rifles to clear out like 1 or 2 models so that the Predator's autocannon can kill the rest of the squad, and maybe some other inconsequential fire killing squads that are in the way of my Thunderwolves. And yeah, just 3 of these is really good. I can get 3 of these for the price of Bjorn the Fell-Handed. And yeah, I immediately went for these over Bjorn because, while Bjorn is good, actually he's excellent. He's one of the best dreadnoughts in the game. I think just having the mobility of the ATVs along with the slight firepower is just a bit better. Now, I will get punished if I go up against Tyranids because they will put me in gargoyle jail. If you don't know what that is, they line up gargoyles in front of you, and then you can't move, and it makes you lose a turn, which makes you lose points. Bjorn is really good at clearing gargoyle jail because he has 2 flamethrowers, his Hellfrost cannon and his heavy flamer. Really good at clearing those immediately because you just spend 1 CP to overwatch them after they drop down, clear out the whole unit, and then your army is unabated as it moves forward. So, if I go up against Tyranids, I may run into a problem with gargoyle jail, but so far I haven't run into them too much. In our locals, there's 1 or 2 people who, oh my god, he's so sleepy. Look at him, he's so sleepy. Wants to take Nabo. Okay, but there's a few people that play Tyranids, but I've never run into gargoyle jail without me just having a way out of it. So yeah, this is 1,999 points, and honestly, I think this is one of 2 armies I'm going to be playing competitively. It's going to be my Space Wolves and my Demons of Slaanesh. So if you want to see that army list, comment it down below. Comment that you would like to see it down below, and tell me what you think of this list. If there's a change that you would make, let me know. I always love to hear it. And yes, I am aware Logan is way too big. Most players only play with him on his base and that's it. And up to here because that's how tall Logan actually is. All of the players at my locals that I play and all the players in the tournament scene that I play with are all super chill people, mostly because they're Icelandic and they're super nice. So they know that Logan is gigantic, and even if his head is hanging around a corner, no one shoots him because it's just a dick move to do that. But if they can see the base, they can shoot him. Yeah, so overall, tell me what you think of the army list. If this helped you decide how to build your Space Wolves, that'll be cool. This is after the October update, so once we get another update, this army list will be out of date. So let me know your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're there, check out the links in the description. Be awesome. Happy wargaming.